Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Sunday, the 27th of December, special weekend edition over Christmas. For those of you who may be missing the stock market, just 2 sleeps to go now before we resume hostilities. Starting off with AFC Energy, where we've had this incredible vertical move for the stock since the middle of last month. 4 gaps to the upside in recent sessions. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before in my life, which is quite amazing. Here we've got the current situation at the moment, the gap higher on Christmas Eve. The resistance prior to that was at 60p, so above 60p on an end-of-day close basis, looking towards that November resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as 80 pence, hopefully over the next couple of weeks, or the way things are going in the next couple of days. Bigger picture target here up towards that May resistance line projection up to 135 or in £1.40, hopefully as soon as the end of February. So quite a massive bullish situation there at AFC Energy. At this stage, if you're worried about the downside, already back below the floor of this November trend channel at 52 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. But ideally, we head directly towards 80 pence in the first instance. Onto a stock which I kept on missing out on, which is rather irritating, I suppose, but it's actually moved very fast. So Blue Rock Diamonds, we had that final bear trap there below 45 pence last week, or the end of the previous week, and then broke above the 50-day moving average and 200-day moving averages. Nice move to end the shorter session on Thursday with the gap higher, which suggests that we really are revving up for quite a big move. End of day close above 61 pence, which is that September resistance line projection, or resistance line rather, could set up the shares for as high as that July resistance line, currently heading towards £1.10, and one would expect that to be hit as soon as the end of February. So quite a big setup there for this situation. At this point, only really back below the 200-day moving average at 51 pence, really delaying the upside scenario, but looking very, very strong indeed with this support that we've had over the last, or the post-November period. Another stock which is looking amazing at the moment, and I suppose all these stocks really illustrating how strong the small cap area is looking at the going into the start of 2021. Here with DX Group, we've got this break to new resistance here. We've got this rising trend channel which has been in place since August, climbed along the bottom of the channel there over the post-November period, and now breaking up through 30 pence. The longer we remain above 30 pence, or at least the previous 29 pence resistance, the greater the chance of a move towards the top of the channel there at 45 pence, hopefully as soon as the end of next month. Moving along to another very bullish situation. I wasn't expecting to see so many at this point, but I suppose it is the most bullish time of the year normally for the market. Here another rising trend channel, very steeply rising trend channel on European Metals Holdings. Floor of the channel running through 50 pence at the moment, and while we remain above that, looking towards 77 pence, which is that October, to the top of the October trend channel, hopefully well before the end of next month. Stock which was rather frustrating before, but starting to come good, is Galileo Resources. Here we had an extended period really just between 0.8 and a penny, which was rather irritating, but we managed to break through that at the beginning of the month and settled into a bull flag, actually well above previous resistance, at and above previous resistance, mostly above it at 1.2 pence. And while we're above 1.2 pence on an end of day close basis, looking towards the top of that May trend channel, currently pointing to as high as 2.2 pence, hopefully by the end of next month. Moving along to a more obscure situation, but one that has its fans, iNexus Global. Here we've had an extended basing for the shares, I suppose since May. Another one of those frustrating situations with the full storm moves. So there was one in September, then also in October. On this occasion, they were rather more optimistic that we'll finally have the big breakthrough. We've broken that line of resistance from October, and now we're well above the 50 and 200-day moving averages. We didn't do that before with the previous fall storm, so this is a different situation. Above the 50-day line at 5.3 pence, looking towards that July resistance line projection at 11 pence, hopefully as soon as the end of February, maybe even by the end of next month. One of the big favourites, which people just can't keep tweeting about at the moment, is Mega Diagnostics. It was tough, this move that the shares delivered over November and the early part of December, obviously inspired by the well-timed vaccines coming into play. Current situation is we had a good weekly close above the 200-day moving average. We also broke that November resistance line projection at or resistance line rather at 55 pence, and above that on an end-of-day close, looking towards the top of the November channel at 80 pence. Hopefully over the next 2 to 4 weeks. Only back below 50 pence, really, in the floor of the last month's channel, really delaying the upside scenario. There's more grounds for optimism in this situation, also because of the bullish divergence that we had in the run-up to the latest break higher. So we've had lower lows there towards 40 pence at the end of last month, but the RSI was climbing. That tends to be a leading indicator on quite a solid move or an extended move to the upside. Next up, a stock which I haven't covered quite some time, and you can probably see from the chart why not. Another of these extended consolidation situations, but Thursday was the first time in many months that we managed to close above the 200-day moving average at 39 pence on Pennant, and hopefully that will be the signal that we can head towards 55 pence at the top of the rising June trend channel, hopefully by the end of next month. And at this stage, only really back below the 50-day line at 36 pence, delaying the upside scenario. One of the best IPOs of the year in terms of the share price move that we had since then is Pensana. We could argue that maybe the shares were floated a bit too cheaply, but the market seems to be rectifying that at speed, and the latest break last week of this October resistance line at 75 pence underlines that. Hopefully we're heading towards £1.15, which is the top of the July trend channel, hopefully by the end of next month, and particularly while we hold above November resistance at 80 pence. So looking pretty solid there for Pensana. Just a couple of stocks to go. First is Savannah, where we've got another trend line break. With Thursday's move through 10, and I suppose 10.5 pence, let's call it. Above that on an end-of-day close basis, looking towards the June resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as 16 pence, and hopefully that'll be seen as soon as the end of next month. That's it from me today. More updates on Tuesday.